This video is going to show you my own way on how I weave a 5x5 stitch. Now I assume already that you've seen my previous video on this same topic. You can click over here. It's the 7x1 stitch, and you need to understand already what I'm doing there in order to continue this video. And also I'm assuming that you already know how to make a ordinary 5x5 stitch. So it's not a tutorial of how to make a 5x5, it's just how I weave the 5x5 stitch in order to understand what I'm doing, for example in the videos of the dragon or flower and etc. So if you still haven't understand what I'm doing here, please, I will always be happy to help. Just please, before you ask a question, try to view all this video, because some of parts of a video I making the same steps over again. So maybe in the first try you don't understand, but maybe on the second or the third time that I'm doing it, you will understand. So let's begin. Let's start by taking one of corners. So let's, for example, take this corner. So either this one, or this one, or this one, or this one. One of these 4 strings. So let's for example take this one, and so now I want to take the one that's next to this guy on the other side. So you can see that this loop is, so you can see that all this here, all this brown string here is this string, and the one next to it is this one, this brown string. So this one is over here. So we want to take these guys and we want to weave them. So I'm going to make a normal square stitch, like a normal super quad stitch, or whatever you call it. And now we want to do like we done for 7x1. So we want to take this string, because this string is one of the corners, so either this one or this one, but I like to use, usually I like to use the one that is farthest from these 2 brown strings. So this one is the closest, but this one is the farthest, so I like to use this one. And I want to go over under like normally we do. And next we want to do what we done in the 7x1 stitch. We want to take all these 5 strings and weave them together. So I'm assuming that you already understand what I'm doing right now. So now we have a huge mess, but still it's we weave in 5 strings at once. We weave in over the brown and under the brown here. Next, what you want to do is to weave all the rest of the strings, but on the right side. So the strings that will point towards the left, so from right to left. All these other 4 strings. So let's do it one by one, because we don't have any choice. Let's do it quite fast, because I hope that you already understand what I'm doing. It's exactly the same idea that we've done on the 7x1 stitch. And I want to save some time, so if you haven't understand, or it just was too quick, just do the slow option on the YouTube settings. You can go to half a time, like when you want to hear a lecture, you speed up the video on the settings. So we've done all the gold strings right now, and 2 of the corners of the brown strings. Now we have only 4 strings here and 4 strings here, and I want to weave one of these 2 set of strings to weave them at once. How do I know what's going to weave? You can think of it like that, so the string that are not closer to the loop. So here's a loop, you can see. Here's a loop, here's a loop, here's a loop, here's a loop. So this is a loop. These 4 strings are next to this loop. So these 4 strings are closer to the loop. And these 4 strings are not close to a loop. You can see this is not a loop. It's something, you can call it a string or whatever. So the strings that are not closer to the loop. So again, these 4 strings are very close to this loop. And these 4 strings are not close to any loop. So they are close to this loop, but this is 1 step ahead from this one. This is closer to the 4 strings here. So I'm going to take all these 4 strings and weave them at once. So let's do it. So we want to go over and then under this one, and then over this one, under this one, over this one, under this one, etc. Like that, so something like that. Boom. So let's do it. Again, it's going to be a mess, but this is a disadvantage of this. Okay, so we've done that. And now the only thing that we need to do is to weave all the other 4 brown strings one by one. So let's do it. So this string we'll need to go over this gold, under this gold, over this gold, under, over, and etc. So we're going to help with this one, with this sharp thing. I'm going to create loops for the strings that need to go under. You'll see in a second. So all these gold strings, when I'm weaving like that, you can see everything is going to be over and then under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. So now let's explain which strings I'm doing them with my scissors. So this one is on the right side, so I start with this gold, that is the far left, and then doing yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. So this gold I'm going to make a loop, not this one, the one next to it. So yes, no, yes, no, and etc. So all these, and putting inside the brown string, and we have the over under stuff immediately. Now doing the same thing, start with the far left because we have a far right string. This brown is a far right edge string. So we start with the far left edge, and we take the far left gold and weave, making a loop, and then no, not this one, but this one, not this one, but this one, and then same thing. So I hope you're starting to understand what I'm doing. Please leave a comment if you don't understand, still don't understand. And now just taking this brown string and it's now inside. And the last brown string. So again, this is the far right side. This brown is the far right side. So I'm going to take a far left gold here and making a loop. And then not this one, but this one. And then this one. And then this one, and last one is this one, and we have a over-under case. So we go over, under, over, under, over, under, over, and etc. And that's it. So now just pulling all the strings. You can do it one by one. And that's it. So if you still haven't understand what I'm doing, please leave a note and I'll try to explain more. So see ya.